Good morning. I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time now for a look at our midday livestock trade with livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And Kyle, we are having a very mixed day in terms of our cattle complex. Tell me what you're making of trade today.
That's right, Lacey. It is a very mixed day here. We've traded a $2 range here in this live cattle complex. April live cattle traded down as low as 236.25 and as high as 238.22, and they're sitting right here at 237.77 right here, down 22 cents on the session. Now, in order to keep this thing moving to the upside, I'd like to see us close above 238 here. As far as the April contract goes, that could project us higher if we were to close above that, but it remains to be seen yet here. There's not a lot of commercial buying out there today, so it looks to me like it's mostly fund activity back and forth. Not a lot of bids or offers out there in the country yet. Still kind of waiting for those to develop here, but the later we get into the week, I think the cash could be steady to higher the way it's kind of sounding. On the feeder cattle side of things here, that's getting a little bit more interesting. Like I said here earlier this week, I looked at that index to keep moving higher, and it did. We're up $1.16 on the index today at 364.73 with a daily average of 367.23 on 4,271 heads. So lighter head count. We don't have the southern barns going this week due to the weather down there. The daily average price was $7.02 higher than last week. There's 40,000 head total in the index here so far. We had Russell and Worthing at 371. Imperial was at 370. Erickson on Saturday was at 362. And I'm still expecting this index to be weighted more towards the northern barns here. And I'm thinking that 365 plus is where we're going to go off, and we're at 366.87 on these January. So I'm probably a little low here given what we've got here for runs later on to take place here in the week. So we do have that biannual cattle report coming out here on Friday as well. We could see some movement out here in these back months here as far as the live cattle go, as far as feeder cattle go as well, too. So a lot of moving parts here as we get into the middle of the week, Lacey.
Thank you, Kyle. That is livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted with a look at our midday trade here on the Rural Radio Network.
In a world of constant change, one thing remains unwavering: our commitment to rural America. Chad Moyer here on the Rural Radio Network. Our team stands firm in our dedication to the heartland, delivering essential news, market updates, and community stories that matter most to rural communities. We're here for you, today and every day, because we believe in the strength and the resilience of rural America.
Nebraska isn't just a place. It's a way of life. It's neighbors helping neighbors, innovation in the shop and in the field, and farmers and ranchers feeding the world. That's the story behind 93, the podcast from Rimbold Ludke. Serving clients in all 93 Nebraska counties, the team at Rimbold Ludke shares stories of people, businesses, and communities that make this state what it is. Listen to 93 the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or online at RimboldLawFirm.com.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network for a check of your markets. Grains continue in mixed trading here today. Corn futures are fairly quiet, just barely below unchanged, watching South American weather and crop conditions. President Trump is in Iowa today with a scheduled stop to include a tour of an ethanol plant and likely discussion for year-round use of E15 ethanol. The USDA reported 4.3 million bushels of corn sold to unknown destinations this morning, and soybeans are higher with the strength in the oil market. Wheat markets are lower as the weather warms back up for the week. A lower dollar index is keeping some support under futures as the world supplies continue to creep towards a projected record high for February. March corn is down 3/4 at 427.5. May down 1/4 at 435 3/4. July down 1/4 at 441 3/4. March soybeans up 6 at 1067 3/4. May up 6 1/4 at 1080 1/4. July up 5 3/4 at 1093 1/4. Chicago March wheat is up 1/4 at 522 3/4. May down 1/4 at 532 1/2. March Kansas City wheat is up 1 1/2 at 531 1/4. May up 1 1/4 at 541 3/4. March soybean meal is unchanged at $2.9430. March bean oil up 50 cents at $54.39. February live cattle are down 7 cents at $235.95. April down 42 at $237.57. June down 27 at $233.35. March feeders are down 42 cents at $362.17. April down 37 at $360.82. May up 2 pennies at $358.50. And February lean hogs are up 55 cents at $88.80. April up 12 at $96.85. And Class 3 milk for February down 48 at $15.55.